Welcome to Nurture Small Business, Creating a Thriving Space, with your host, Denise Kagan. Denise is the president of DCA Virtual Business Support and has been a business owner for almost 20 years. DCA Virtual Business Support provides small businesses with an expert pairing of virtual administrative and marketing assistance to match your needs. Learn more at dcavirtual.com.
Myoshia Boykin-Anderson truly represents the American dream. As a native Houstonian and a proud graduate of Jack Yates Senior High School, Miosha saw some of life's most difficult times, but she didn't let that stop her from striving for a better future. In 1998, with no savings, no college degree, Miosha got her first taste of entrepreneurship by starting her first company. Taking the lessons that she learned from that experience, she launched her second company in 2009. Miosha is now CEO of a leading IT consulting company, AndTech Solutions, LLC. And under Miosha's leadership, AndTech has grown into a seven-figure consulting firm providing custom application development and other technology services to some of the top US companies and organizations. Miosha, welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm excited about being here today.
I am excited to be chatting with you as well. We had an amazing pre-conversation and you shared some things with me, like for instance, why you didn't go to college. I just find that absolutely fascinating that you made that sacrifice. Can you share with us?
Yeah, I will. So, it was when it was time for me to go to away to college. I actually, had the real conversation with myself, and quite honestly, it was a no-brainer at that point for me. Growing up in definitely this 6 block radius, I usually say, growing up in the inner city in Houston, Texas, in an area called Third Ward, I literally grew up in this 6 block radius. We were very poor when I was growing up. My mother was on addicted to drugs when I was growing up. So early on, I had to assume this role, probably self-imposed, but definitely I felt it was necessary for me to step up and make sure I was a leader in my family to take care of my siblings, because our mother was, on drugs and she was out there in the world, and I just needed to make sure that we, the four of us, my three siblings and I, were taken care of. So in school, I always kept my grades up. I remember my grandmother saying, make sure you keep your books, keep your lesson, right? And that was, just something that they talked about all the time. But it was, while it was challenging, definitely, I really enjoyed school. I kept my grades up. I made good grades and actually had several scholarships my senior year when it was time to go off to college. But I just couldn't imagine leaving my family, like literally asking myself, who's going to take care of them if I leave? So I decided not to go. I stayed there. I entered the workforce that, quite honestly, I'd already been a part of. I've been literally working a full-time job since I was like 14 years old.
Good gracious, girl. So
Yeah.
you're the eldest of the four siblings, correct?
I actually am not.
Oh,
I have an older brother, but it was always me. Like it, and it still is to this day. It's still me.
women are the caregivers. It's kind of it comes natural to us, but that also leads me to the next thing. You're in a male dominated industry. So you're clearly a caregiver, but you have a technology mind. Not only are you in a male dominated industry, no formal college education in that area, and a minority. Do you feel like you're always having to prove yourself?
Oh my God, always. Even today, even having achieved the level of success that I'm at now, and we are, currently at multiple seven figures, and we're, I'm running this thriving tech company, but still every day I am proving myself, proving that I am worthy to be in the room, worthy to be at the table, worthy to be a part of the conversation. It's constant. It's constant, and I do not foresee that as much as I want to dream about it, I am in this space where I have grown to know that that it is the way it is, and as much as we try to and hope to dispel all of the patriarchal tendencies in our world, I still to this day wake up knowing that there's going to be a situation where I have to prove
Mm.
myself.
So, what can we do as business owners and human beings to help level the playing field, for women, minorities, people who are in a non-traditional role? What is your insight there?
I think it really just, at the end of the day, it really boils down to compassion, but it also boils down to opportunities as well. Women are amazing creatures, as like
I
men.
think so.
Oh yes, definitely. And I think the first step is going to be just the recognition that there are women out there whose contributions are valuable. And once we realize that and we allow women to operate in their zone of genius, in their unique ability, and to have society recognize that great value for what it is, I think that's the first step. And then making sure that once we get to that point where we understand that these women have these values, really making sure that it's not just lip service, that we are not just talking about the value of women, but we are truly putting our monies where our mouths are, right? That a woman with the same skill set as the gentleman next to her is not, having to be part of a situation where her pay is still less than his. It's not comparable. Their skill sets are comparable. You've probably put them in comparable roles, but their pay is not comparable. So I think that's, one end of it. And then from the minority, aspect, being able to stand up as an African American woman each and every day to show the excellence that I embody, to show the excellence that I demand from my team and those around me, is a challenge as well. To be seen, as the person that I am, the African American woman, in all of that, but to know that I belong here, right? That
Yes,
that I
ma'am.
belong in this room, like I said, and I belong at this table, and I belong in this conversation. Um, and at the bottom of all of that, all of what I've just said, it truly comes down to compassion.
I would agree with that. I would. And I know you're doing some amazing work with some nonprofits too in the STEM area. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Oh my goodness, it
Look, you
truly
just
is.
lit up. You
I
that
know, right?
that's your joy.
It's so amazing, STEM, especially being part of organizations that are truly um, commissioned to give back to inner city youth and young brown boys and girls. And I mean, it's truly a passion of mine. So I sit on the board of an organization called Cstem, for which I am immensely proud and honored. And we're doing some great work in the not only science and technology and engineering and mathematics, but also the name of the organization is CSTEM, also in the area of communication, and kind of adding that in there as well. So it's great work out there. I'm excited about the work we're doing, and even the support that we're getting from the community and from the corporate sector. It's been quite a joy.
Yeah, that sounds super exciting. So, let's go ahead and segue into talking about your company. Your company is AndTech Solutions, correct?
It is. It is.
But as I understand it, you actually have two companies.
I do actually, and it's actually three. It's
Oh, I
actually
didn't
three.
know that.
Yeah. So AndTech Solutions has always been like the parent company. We literally gained our visibility, if you will, in this tech space by the large system implementation projects that we offered to our Fortune 500 and corporate clients. So we have this unique skill set in the healthcare space. And a lot of what we do on the corporate level is in that healthcare space, really being able to help them implement their medical management and care management programs. So that's the one end. And as part of that, and it's always been, something that I've been very proud of, and we've been doing that. But over the past couple of years, we've kind of shifted our focus, or not even shifted, but we've added this large focus on small and medium businesses, right? The SMBs out there, and really being able to help them leverage the power of technology in their businesses, from the small business who's just getting started, who has no idea about what they need to be using out here, because they're hearing all of these different apps and they're doing different things, and and all of that. So we help from an assessment perspective. We also help those who are small and in business, but they've already, maybe reached their first 6 figures and they're really doing good. And now they're looking to scale and grow, and they're just trying to understand how to make their systems talk to each other, and all of that. So we develop these custom solutions for small and medium businesses, and that company, if you will, is called AndTech X. So it's all about, AndTech X, and we talk about 5Xing and 10Xing our businesses, right? So AndTech X is that business. And
like
then
that.
the last one is truly, we literally just did a soft launch 2 weeks ago. It is the work that I do with women entrepreneurs, and it is I think it's my life's work. And it is to encourage, equip, and edify women entrepreneurs. And I'm super excited about that. It's called Beyond Belief. And one of the offerings is our Beyond Belief experience, which is our 12-month mentorship program. So I'm just super excited about that work, and to be able to help women achieve their dreams of entrepreneurship. And for those who are already on the journey, to help them utilize some of the tools and tips that I've used to get to where I am, and truly just mentor them, even as I grow and scale my businesses, helping them grow, and scale their own as well.
I absolutely love that concept. I'm going to have to check that out. Can you say the name one more time?
It's Beyond Belief.
Beyond Belief.
So our URL is Beyond Belief Business, because it's,
Okay.
Beyond Belief Business is this big umbrella. And one of our offerings that we just made public the other day is the Beyond Belief experience. So that's our 12-month mentorship, but we also have a, Beyond Belief Society, which is like our just networking, group with a couple of really nice value adds there. And I'm even thinking about the Beyond Belief Business School, and how I can help them with, just the foundations of making sure that as you're stepping out there, you're doing it right. Like you're making the right decisions at the beginning, so you don't have to redo, stuff. You don't have to unlearn bad habits. So really helping them to start off on the right foot.
So I'm going to ask this question 2 different ways. What is the number one piece of advice you would give to a business owner relating to their technology?
Okay.
And then what is your number one piece of advice you'd give to a woman entrepreneur who's in that growth phase? So let's address the technology first.
I would literally say, technology is not a one size fits all. I think that is my biggest tip. You don't have to use what everybody else is using. And your business is not like everyone else's. Of course, we have some industries where, some things are kind of par for the course, right? But as a business owner, embracing our uniqueness and knowing that your tech setup and your tech stack, we call it the tech stack, and all a tech stack is the tools that you use from a technology perspective. Your tech stack doesn't have to look like everybody else's, right? As long as you're making sure that you have tools that meet your specific needs. In most cases, there are tools out there that can help you. But there are sometimes when it's time to invest in something custom that's going to help you do business the way you do business. So I think that's my biggest tip from a tech perspective, is just know that as unique as you are, your tech is probably going to be just as unique.
Absolutely.
And then from an entrepreneur, woman entrepreneur on her path to growth. And this could be the woman who is really excelling and shining on her job. And she's had this amazing skill set and this amazing idea that she's had for a really long time. And she's looking for her escape route, right? Like how to do it properly, how to leave corporate America and start your own business properly. So that's the one woman. The other woman is the one who has taken the leap, right? And they have started their business, but they're really trying to make sure that they're starting it right. And then there's the one that has been in business for a while. She maybe feels like she's hit a plateau. So my advice from a growth perspective is, I would say one of them is really around money, really around money. No one that I know of starts a business without the hope of generating revenue, right?
Of
And
course.
our desires for the use of that revenue is different. But I would say from a financial perspective, it's really getting your mindset right about your money. So making sure that you have a healthy money mindset. And that even looks different for everybody, but I really just want to help women understand that you don't have to play small. I feel like I'm going to lean into the camera. You literally do not have to play small. So beyond belief is all about helping
Mm,
women dream bigger so that they could think bigger, and then they can do bigger beyond their belief, right? But also, I'll tell you, beyond belief also means that, belief is the first step, but it takes execution. Beyond belief is the execution, the doing of the work, and understanding that it is going to require work. I often say, especially when I'm really going straight spiritual, because I am, truly operating in this blessed space. And, I always say faith without works is dead. So you can have this belief about the idea that you have, but are you willing to put in the work? Are you ready? Are you at that point where you're ready to do the work? So yeah.
I remember when we first spoke that you had talked about putting in the work and the hard work, and that, it was no stranger to you. And that's, your endurance and just staying the course was what got you to where you are now.
Yes, yeah, yeah. It took a lot. I would also say another tip for those who are just getting out there, or even out there on your entrepreneurial journey, is to know that it's not going to always be easy. And of course, it almost goes without saying, we talk about that, but I went through a lot of no's. I went through a lot of no's, and understand that I will still go through no's, right? You're gonna get them, but not allowing them to knock you, completely off your cradle. Will you get knocked down? Yes, you will. And will you need to stay there for a minute, get yourself together? Yes, you
Sometimes.
will.
Yes.
But don't you dare stay there. As quickly as possible, you get up and you dust your hands off, and maybe even dust your hiney off because they just whipped you up, right? But you get off that ground and you get up different than when were different than when you were when you fail, right? But it's all about failing forward. So not staying in the place of rejection or disappointment or disrespect or any of that. Moving past it as quickly as you can. Allow yourself to feel whatever you're going to feel, right? Because it's unhealthy for us to try to suppress it all. Feel what you're going to feel, but girlfriend, get it together real quickly and keep on pressing forward.
That sounds like the endurance of my granddaughter who's 15 months old. She falls down and we're like, uh-oh. And we're like, wipe it off.
Yep, yep. And just keep on. And then, and then she's learning at
Yes.
15 years old, she's learning that, if I fall, one, there's going to be somebody there that's going to help me, up. But even when they're not, she knows how to put her hand, push herself up. And even if she has to crawl a little bit and then step back up. So learning at an early age that you are going to fall. As you try to get your footing and especially for those that are just starting, it's a different thing, it's a different thing. So getting your footing, learning how to walk the walk and all of that. And just know that you will have some stumbles and all you have to do is stumble forward. Just stumble on forward.
So Miosha, after the podcast, how can folks find you?
Okay, so on social media, I am myself, Myoshia Boykin-Anderson. We do have social accounts for AndTech Solutions and AndTech X and Beyond Belief as well. If you want to email me, mbAnderson@andtechllc.com. And I'm also at beyondbeliefbusiness.com. I would love to hear from you guys.
Thank you. You have been a pleasure to talk with today.
It has been amazing. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for joining us for today's Nurture Small Business, Creating a Thriving Space podcast. Learn more about your host at dcavirtual.com or by emailing her directly at denise@dcavirtual.com.